My name's Trent. I'm a chemist. This is my younger brother Troy, merely a biologist. And we are the Bourbon Brother Whiskey Nerds. Troy, we have an interesting episode today.
We do.
For
Fresh Crack Friday.
We always love our Fresh Crack Fridays because we get to taste new and interesting whiskey. Today, we have some New Riff. New Riff is a Kentucky distillery. Mm-hmm. And I think it's fair to say, Troy, that we haven't been big fans of New Riff.
You know, they've stormed on the scene. I should say that because I think they've been around for like 8, 9, 10 years.
Well, but I think
that's relatively small in comparison.
Maybe 3-4 years ago, they sort of stormed on the scene, right?
Yeah.
And their bottled and bond bourbon you own.
Yep.
And we think it's okay.
It's okay.
It's not anything to write home about.
What we have here today, though,
is a really interesting product.
This is 100% malted rye. First of all, when we talk about malting, basically what we're doing is we're tricking that grain into germinating. And what that does is it makes it easier to make the sugars that the yeast digest, effectively.
Small timeout for nerdiness. If you don't want the nerdiness, fast forward.
But
some
stay around for the
scientific nerdiness is coming. Malting grain is really not a chemical process, it's a biochemical process. That's the only way to describe it. It's just the right term. It's not biology, it's not chemistry, it's biochemical. But Troy's right. You trick the seed, the wheat, the rye, the barley, whatever it is, into thinking it's been planted. And you do this in the same way a seed would get exposure if you did plant it. It gets warmer and it gets water. And so that's what they do. They heat it up and give it water. And that releases some enzymes, alpha and beta amylase, which...
He said amylase.
There was
which is also in your saliva and helps you digest carbohydrates. Stop!
I know. I told you there was nerdiness coming. And this, without those enzymes, you can't get the grain, the carbohydrates, down into simple sugars that yeast can digest to produce ethanol and carbon dioxide in the fermentation process. So you have to do that. Now, winemakers don't have to do it because wine comes from grapes, which is just glucose. There's no carbs in there. Makers of rum don't have to do this because rum is a sugar cane product. You don't have to do this. But whiskey, whether it's barley or rye,
doesn't really matter what it is.
This is why most whiskeys have a small amount, even just 3-4% in the smallest cases, of malted barley. Because barley, as it turns out, is easier to malt. Rye is hard to malt. I've heard rumors, we're not distillers, we don't know, but I've heard rumors it gets sticky, it's harder to work with. This is a 100, I don't have to look up the match bill here, 100% rye. Troy and I have some 100% rye.
We do.
We dig us our rye whiskey.
I think
we're pretty fly for rye guys.
We are pretty fly for rye guys. And I think it's safe to say that we like rye.
Oh, we do. I'm a big rye whiskey fan.
We do.
But this is all malted rye. 100% malted rye. As much as we're not huge fans of the flagship, I think it's $45, New Riff Bourbon, this is sort of an exciting product.
Yeah, what'd you pay for this?
$61.
Oh, that's not
fine wine and good spirits. And so we'll see what this tastes like here on Fresh Crack Friday. One thing that's interesting is it does come with a 6-year age statement. Aged 6 years right on the bottle.
Also, it's technically a bottled and bond.
I read that on the back. I don't think I'm making that up. You can read that. It says right there, bottled and bond.
Bottled and bond.
So they don't publicize that on the front of the bottle, but when you pick it up, it's a bottled and bond. So this aged for 6 years.
It is a fresh crack. We just pre-ripped the cellophane.
So that I don't look like an idiot. That happened on the one episode. That'll live in infamy. I'll still have problems because I'm Doppler. But no, we're going to try this. Oh, I love Fresh Crack Fridays. And we try, folks, we're trying to give you new, interesting things on Fresh Crack Friday. All right, Troy, here we go. We're going to go in to some malted rye from New Riff. I've heard other whiskey tube folks talk about New Riff Bourbon being lesser than New Riff Rye. This got excellent reviews online, so I decided I'd pick it up and we'll taste it. We'll put that to the side. We'll bring it back for we're done. And Troy, we're going into the
Cheers.
nose. Oh, dear Lord.
Oh, my. What is that note on the... right in the nose?
Well, I'm getting a lot of rye spice, but I got the same note you did, and it's a sweet note, and I don't know what it is.
Is it orange? Sweet orange? I think the citrus notes are really prevalent.
Well, and we've talked about this before. There are bright ryes, and there are dark ryes.
It's almost like a orange Kool-Aid.
Wow.
Really, I mean, interesting note, but
I'm
like
getting
tang.
I'm getting a lot of rye spice. Tang is a really good note. But bright ryes tend to be a little bit more citrus forward, right? Maybe some orange, some lemon, maybe lime, although that's a less common note. This reads as a sweeter, more bright rye. And then there are dark ryes, Sagamore ryes, I would think fall into this category. Especially their higher age stuff. Their 8-year, their 9-year, things like that. That's more of a dark fruit. Fig, cherry, right? Things like that. Raisin, plum. That's a little
now
bit...
that you mention it, there might be a raisin plum note coming through on here. Or a stone fruit, like nectarine, apricot, almost.
Boy, I don't hate it.
I'll tell you what.
There's a nice, and it's not mint.
No,
it's not dill.
This
it's
is not
rye.
herbal. This is not herbal.
Rye.
Let me
Rye.
repeat that again.
Rye.
Not herbal.
Yeah, if this ends up being I Am Rye, Hear Me Roar, we're going to dig the heck out of it. Because, okay.
Now I get, as it sat in the glass, some of the sweeter notes are coming through vanilla.
I think it reads as a sweet, bright rye, but that's just me.
Maybe raspberry?
Ooh. It's not dilly.
No.
It's not minty. It's not herbal. Troy said it like 2-3 times. All right, I'm going in. Cheers, folks. It's a little tamer on the palate than it was on the... Oh, boy.
Oh, but that fit. Oh,
Do you know what just happened to me?
the finish.
Holy Toledo. All right. The finish is outstanding. 10 out of 10. Would buy again. Loved it. Want to rent the sequel. Love it. The finish is still going.
And the finish was where all that rye comes from.
Oh my God, it's just straight rye spice. Once again, no mint, no dill. If it were a dilly rye, I'd tell you because dill...
Pepper. Chili pepper.
Oh, there's almost like a green pepper.
Like a green chili type of note coming through.
Salsa verde.
Salsa verde.
We're bilingual here on the channel. Just
we tried.
Definitively, we are not bilingual.
We are not.
We barely
We
speak,
both took a lot of Spanish.
We barely speak English on this channel. So, boy, I love the nose.
The nose?
The palate reads different than the nose.
I hate to say hoping for, but I kind of wanted some of those bright citrus notes to come through on the palate. I'm going to go in for a second sip. We'll see.
I think it is a sweeter, brighter rye. It's not dark and brooding. I get a lot of things here. None of them are dark and brooding.
No, this, Trent is absolutely correct. This is a sweeter, brighter rye, but the finish is the story of this whiskey.
Bananas good.
I get a burst of vanilla on the front of the palate.
Well, that's the sweetness, right?
Which is the sweetness coming
Pretty
through.
traditional rye sweetness.
But what's so incredible, the nose is just, it's like that orange Kool-Aid tang, that very bright, very citrusy. Oh. Again, I was expecting this to be herbal and dill and mint, and it's not.
Does the malting calm that down? It's possible.
You know, that's a good question. It's entirely conceivable that it does.
I'm not getting some things that I expected to get. I'm not getting a lot of maltiness. Chocolate milk malt balls.
No.
None of that. And I'm not getting oak for a 6-year product. I mean, it's there.
The oak is relatively tame, comparatively tame.
This is a rye drinker's rye, but I can say that simultaneous to saying that if you're a bourbon drinker,
This might be a rye you want.
it's a gateway rye.
It is. It's a gateway
Because it drinks
rye.
sweet.
It
It's
does.
sweet and bright. It's not, I'm going to club you over the head with all the various herbal rye spices, because it's not. This would make a mother of a cocktail.
Well,
Holy
a Manhattan
cow.
with this.
Oh,
Oh, stop!
take me to the mountain.
Even an old fashioned with that orange on the front of on the nose. Ooh.
Boy, the nose and the finish on this whiskey is so good.
You know what the nose reminds me of? Do you remember the Flintstone vitamins? We used to crack those open, and it was the fruit mix. It's like fruit punchy, almost.
That's interesting. Yeah, Troy's palate is more refined than mine today. I'm at peace with that. I'll just sit here, close my eyes, and enjoy the finish of this whiskey. Because, God, it's good. God, it's good. You know what? If you buy a $20 rye, it's okay if it drinks like a $20 rye.
Mm-hmm.
If you buy a $40 rye, it's okay if it drinks like a $40 rye. This was a $60 rye. And you know what? I think it drinks like a $60 rye. There's more there. There's more there.
You're getting the value in the sip, and that's what we want.
There's just more there.
Yep.
And the 100 proof it's not overproof.
It's spot on.
It's
I
not
think for
overproof.
this whiskey, I think if it were a little lower proof, some of those rye spices would be a little tamer. So they did a good job with keeping that proof at that.
I'm not even
range.
sure at cask strength this would be as good. I'd be worried that it would hit you over
You might
the head.
lose some of those fruit notes that are coming through, those bright citrus notes.
It would be an interesting release. I mean, who are we kidding? We'd probably buy it.
New Riff, if you're listening, which why aren't you?
Because
And
we're
you
very
want
lucky.
to do it at cask strength,
Yeah.
we'll buy it.
You got one buyer, maybe two.
Maybe two.
You've got 2 bottles sold. That's enough to release it.
Just
Silly.
release it at cask strength.
But no, this is a bottle, and Troy and I talk about this a lot, usually over text message. It's a bottle I've had in my hands many, many, many times. Did this happen to you folks at the liquor store where you have multiple bottles in your hand, you put a couple of them back?
Your budget is only for maybe 1 or 2, and you're trying to decide.
This is a bottle we've both had in our hands a lot. This week, I bought it. I just went and got it. Put some others back that I've also had in my hands a couple of times. And bought the 100% malted rye from New Riff. This blows the heck out of that bottled and bond 100 proof bourbon they have. This is so cool. Now again, it is a Fresh Crack Friday, even if it's a Tuesday where you are.
Yeah.
We don't care if it's a Thursday.
And by the way, let us know what you're drinking, whatever day it is, in the comments.
On
'Cause
Fresh
we wanna
Crack,
know.
whatever your day is. But this, I think we're going to need to revisit it. Because again, always on Fresh Crack Friday we say that, because although we're not big believers in the Fresh Crack comment, because fresh cracks don't exist, especially if you do that before you open your whiskey, which Troy and I always do. We always take off the top and then do that. And now I've done it multiple times, and I'm going to pour myself a little more, because you know what? It's Fresh Crack Friday, and why the heck not? But I'm going to pour myself one more sip, just to make sure I'm not going insane, just to make sure it hasn't changed already. But what we are believers in, even though we're not big believers in the Fresh Crack concept, is we are believers in that the whiskey can open up. And that can go one of 2 ways. It can get worse, it can get better. It'll be interesting what comes to the fore as this opens up.
Usually what happens with that is it gets better.
Sweeter
Historically.
or more rye?
Correct.
What will the opening up give it?
So put that in the comments too. What do you think is going to happen after 10 days, 2 weeks? What's going to happen with this? because we'd be curious to know. And while you're in the comments, make sure you like, subscribe. So many of you are not subscribed. You're watching, yet you're not subscribed. I don't understand that trend. Like you said, we're very lovable. You need to like, you need to subscribe, and you need to share this with everybody because
Everyone
it helps us
you know.
tremendously.
Yeah, really. We got to fix the algorithm.
Correct. The
Problem.
almighty algorithm.
Yeah, you say that better than me.
I know. Please help us.
Please help us out. Let us know what you think. Hey, if you need to send us an email, what's the email address?
bbwn37@gmail.com. It's there.
37?
37. 73 and 77 are years of birth.
Hey.
Now you know how old we are. Although we didn't tell you the other part of that. But you can figure that out. Guess in the comments. Let us know.
Figure out that math later. We're not doing math today, except to say that it's $61.
This is a buy every day of the week.
I think it's a
3
buy.
times on Sunday.
I think it's a buy.
Yeah.
The best new Riff product I've ever had. It's really, really good.
Really good.
It's really good. Now, it might end up being a little bit of a mood pour for me.
Potentially.
But I know myself enough to say that what I should do is leave this alone for 10
You're
days,
gonna
2 weeks.
to
And
exercise some restraint.
And I'm bad at that.
I know.
Because it's going to sit there.
A little
and I'm going to be
restraint.
like, after a week, I'm going to be like, darn.
I really want to try that again.
That would taste good right now. And I should leave it alone. And will I?
Do you know what I would say about this? Since, although it's a little chilly today here in Pennsylvania where we're at, but, as the weather is starting to turn a little bit, this is a good spring, summer rye. A little brighter, a little more refreshing.
A lot of people drink rye only in the winter because it is more of a warming. God, the finish is still going on.
So I think we've pontificated enough.
We've exhausted all of the words that can be worded on this particular whiskey. New Riff, well done. Well done.
Good job.
I want to buy more New Riff Ryes, which was your goal. Release this in cask strength. We'll buy it. Folks, that's all we have for you today. Please like, subscribe, share. Really helps us out a lot. Thank you for watching, and as always, please continue to drink what you like.
And like what you drink.
See you next time.
Bye, everybody.